Guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to discuss who we think is going to win the Championship title. Now, from a Coventry perspective, of course, it's a bit of a difficult time to record this one because it's the night after we've just lost 2-1 to Norwich, a poor display away from home, continuing that really poor away run we're on, which is 6 games, I think, now without a win on the road, 7 if you include the FA Cup defeat at Stoke as well, and just conceding goals, conceding too many chances, conceding too many goals. I think now we've conceded in the last 6 games in all competitions. We haven't kept a clean sheet in ages. It's worrying for a team at the top of the league, and obviously as a Coventry fan I'm going to say this, to be as wide open as we are. I've not seen a team top of the league concede chances at the rate we do. We're relying on Carl Rushworth an awful lot. I think he's nearly saved 6 goals this season in terms of goals prevented, and he's top of that statistic in the Championship. But yeah, top of the league, still top of the league, as we have to keep reminding ourselves. 58 points from 29 games, but Middlesbrough are now just 3 points behind the Sky Blues. 3 points behind the Sky Blues, same amount of games played between those two, and they meet in the middle of February at the CBS Arena. I mean, let's move on to Middlesbrough quickly. What can we say about them? Kim Hellberg, he's a massive upgrade on Rob Edwards. I think we have to say that now. He's now won 4 games in a row again. They absolutely hammered Preston at the weekend. They got a 9-point week after the 3 games they just played, and they just look really, really impressive going forward. They've got a lot of options. Okay, potentially they could do with another striker, and maybe that will be addressed in the last week of this transfer window. If they get another striker in who can really take them up a level, someone on the level of Latte Lath, imagine if they had him right now, they'd be scoring so many goals. But even without, not a natural number 9, because they've got a couple of options up there, but without a kind of massive goal scorer up there, they're still creating a lot of chances, scoring a lot of goals. Morgan Whittaker's been really influential in the last few weeks, and there's an awful lot to like about Middlesbrough. I've been massively impressed with Kim Hellberg, because when he came in, he went on that little bit of a winning run, and then there was that poor run of form, wasn't there, that was ended with that 4-0 home win over Southampton. Since then, they're out the FA Cup, which is a good thing, lost to Fulham. They beat West Brom 3-2. They beat Stoke 2-1, both away from home, and they hammered Preston 4-0. Now, up top, Conway is, I don't know. Tommy Conway scores twice, right, in the win over Preston. I still don't know if he's the exact solution for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough fans, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hit and miss on Tommy Conway. He's the guy who missed that chance against Coventry, which would probably see Middlesbrough top of the league, because they'd have probably won that game if they'd have gone 3-2 up. In the end, they lost 4-2. The other forwards, though, brilliant. Morgan Whittaker, Castledine, I think he looks quite smart, quite a good acquisition. He's straight into the 11 already. And Alan Brown scoring goals. Of course, he was going to score against Preston as well. We've talked about Hayden Hackney enough on this channel already. The main man, though, I think, might be Malander, the centre-back. Since he came in, 4 league wins on the bounce. Just on another level he looks. He's absolutely top class. Maybe didn't have his most impactful game against Preston, but I think he's been a massive addition for Middlesbrough. And I think they are properly title challengers. And you have to say that they're only 3 points behind the league leaders right now. They are right in the mix. Let me know your thoughts on Middlesbrough to possibly win the league. I'm going to actually look at the bookies' odds as well in a little bit to see where they've kind of priced up some of these teams at. The next team we need to talk about is Leicester City. Absolutely not. They need to be more worried about the relegation battle, I think. Ipswich Town, another relegated Premier League team. Ipswich looked like the bookies' favourites at the start of the season, and they also look like the team that most people thought would catch Coventry and Middlesbrough and win the league. I mean, they've only been slowed down recently by that defeat, haven't they, this weekend? And I think that loss to Sheffield United, a bit of a reality check for them. I've still got a few concerns. Obviously, their squad is amazing, but Marcelino Nunes out. Hasn't quite worked out when they've been playing Sami Szmodics in the 10 or Chuba Akpom if he's been playing there. Maybe Anis Mehmeti is actually the solution to that problem, because he's a great addition, isn't he, from Bristol City. I think he's 7 goals, 7 assists or something like that this season. Really impressive, mainly playing as that kind of left forward. But maybe he's the answer to their number 10 issues, which is, okay, they've got more strength in depth than we could possibly shake a stick at in terms of most teams would love to have Szmodics and Akpom, but they're more second strikers, they're more running beyond, they're more scoring goals. Marcelino Nunes was the one knitting things together, and he's out for the next few weeks at least. They're also without Jaden Philogene, it looks like, until March. Jack Clark's doing a tremendous job on the left, and what a player to have as almost a backup. He's been sensational this season. They'd won 4 in a row before going to Sheffield United, which makes things very interesting because they now sit on 50 points, 5 points behind Middlesbrough, 8 points behind Coventry, but they do have that game in hand. Ipswich's issue may be their away games and the away February, I think we can call it, coming up. I think it's 4 or 5 away games they've got on the bounce, and their away form hasn't been all that strong. If they can win those games on the road and start to stamp their mark, Coventry and Middlesbrough will be very, very worried indeed, because we all said it at the start of the season. They are the strongest squad in the league. They've got one of the best managers in the league. They were rightful favourites. It just feels like they're underperforming slightly in terms of the results on the pitch. But if they sort that away form out, they can definitely go on to win the league. The odds, by the way, at the moment, it looks like Coventry are favourites at about 8-11, Ipswich 11-4, Middlesbrough 10-3. So Ipswich still the second favourites, even though they're 5 points behind Middlesbrough. Very interesting indeed. And right, most people are suggesting this is a 3-horse race. The bookies certainly are. Coventry are drifting slightly. There's a little less conviction that they're going to win this league than there was obviously earlier in the season when they won 11 games out of 12 and were absolutely flying. I think it was a 12-point lead or 13-point lead they had over third place at one point. That's now down to 8, and Ipswich have a game in hand. But another team that have a game in hand and are on the same number of points as Ipswich Town, Hull City. I'm including you in this title race chat. I'm including you in the automatic promotion race chat. Definitely. 50 points on the board, 28 wins, 28 wins, 15 wins, 5 draws, 8 defeats, 47 goals scored, 40 goals conceded. They've now won 3 games in a row. Again, won their 3-game week just as Middlesbrough did. And it's taken them right into the mix. They were massively impressive in the away win over Preston. Less so potentially at home to Swansea. Potnick missed a couple of key chances in that game, but they keep getting the job done. And this squad, people like to talk about XG and the fact they're not that dominant and the fact they concede quite a lot of chances, and that might lead to a slip up in performances and them sliding down the table. But we're looking not at like a 5-game sample size now or a 10-game sample size. We're well over halfway into this championship season, and Hull City have proven themselves to win these tight margin games and get over the line. Jukirovic deserves massive credit for that. This squad he's put together, I really like the look of it in terms of an attacking sense as well. McBurney up front, we all know about him. What a player he is, and knits the whole team together, really. Carl Joseph and Joe Gelhardt have been very impressive. Liam Miller and Balumi coming back from injury as well. I think the midfielders are underrated. Regan Slater scored that incredible goal this weekend to help them get the 3 points, but also the name that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Let me have a go. Hadzimetovic. I think that's not bad. That isn't bad, is it? He's a player who was struggling at the start of his Hull City career and looked a bit slow, maybe not dominant enough. I think the partnership he's built with Regan Slater lately has been so solid, so combative. I think he's really grown as a player. He's got used to championship football. I think them in front of obviously Charlie Hughes, absolute quality. Great job they did keeping hold of him, and John Egan, great experience as well. Even Pandor is a wonderful keeper. That is a massively solid spine. It's so tough to beat this Hull City team. And if you don't take your chances, they will punish you and they will come out on top. I think the mentality of Hull this season is being underrated. And I think that's why, even though people aren't talking about them that much as automatic promotion contenders, you have to. 50 points from 28 games. They're on the same number as Ipswich. Yes, Ipswich have a better squad. Yes, they've just come down from the Premier League. But Hull are right in the mix. And if they win that game in hand, they're only 2 points behind Middlesbrough. And they're only 5 points behind leaders Coventry. They're well in it. And if they can keep this run going, they should be fine. They've also got a couple of players out injured who could come back. I think Ryan Giles is out injured and should come back into the mix. So let's see what happens with Hull City. But when you're having this sort of lightning in a bottle season, this sort of run, who's to say they can't go all the way and finish in the top 2 places? I think there's a top 5 now in the Championship looking at the table. Millwall are also on 49 points, 5 points clear of Wrexham. And again, like Hull City, they just seem to find a way to win these close margin games. Not that they had one this weekend as they absolutely hammered Charlton 4-0, but they have got some of the best players in the league. I will sing Femi Aziz's praises from the rooftop until he plays in the Premier League. But him, along with Tristan Kramer, great move to make him right back this season, and that partnership and his physicality and his strength. I think that's the best right side in the league. I really do. I think Kramer and Aziz are both elite championship players. Aziz can definitely play in the Premier League. His crossing is unbelievable. He created a couple of goals, didn't he, against Charlton? His dribbling, he goes past players so easily. I don't think there's many wingers in the league I'd rather have than Femi Aziz. And then when you look up top, you've got the likes of Ivanovic or the other guy. Let me think of his name. Give me 2 seconds. Or Josh Coburn. Of course, it's Josh Coburn. His name slipped my mind for a minute. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Coburn. I'll be brutally honest there, but I think Ivanovic is absolutely top class. I think Coburn certainly has a role to play in the side, even if it's just, rotation and wearing down defenders. But I think Ivanovic is a brilliant goal scorer, scored a great volley at the CBS Arena as well. Macaulay Langstaff coming into the number 10 position, also providing a bit of a threat. I think Millwall are going to do really, really well for the remainder of the season because they're so solid. We talk about Coventry being so open. Millwall are almost the opposite, really. They've conceded 35 goals this season. But look at their defence. Caleb Taylor, genius signing from West Brom, and I bet West Brom fans wish they could have him in their team. Jake Cooper, unbelievable experience. Tristan Kramer, I've already mentioned him at right back, an absolute unit. And Alfie Doughty, if he's playing at left back, the deliveries he gets into the box, you can almost have a bit of a wonky back four there and get him putting those deliveries in for the strikers. And the midfield, which looks like they might be adding Barry Bannon to as well, just works hard, gets the job done. There's a lot of quality here. Alex Neil has a promotion from the Championship on his CV. And could they close that gap? They don't have a game in hand on Middlesbrough and Coventry, so they are 6 points behind Middlesbrough. But they've got a fairly kind fixture list coming up, which means, I say a fairly kind fixture list. It starts with Sheffield United at home on Saturday, Wrexham away, Sheffield Wednesday away, Portsmouth at home, Birmingham at home, Preston away. Hey, it could be an awful lot harder than that, couldn't it? Wrexham away, always difficult. Sheffield Wednesday, they should beat. Portsmouth at home, they should beat. Birmingham at home, they should beat. Preston away, they can probably go and beat as well. This is a team that could definitely go on a winning run and put the pressure on. I'm not going to go any further down the table, but those are the 5 teams I think are in contention for the Championship title. Do I need to predict who I think is going to win the Championship title right now? I don't know. Do I? I want to hear what you think, guys, in the comments down below. I might keep my powder dry for now. If I'm being completely honest, although I want to include Hull and Millwall in the chat, in the conversation, I think they probably will be a little bit too far off and too much work to do. But I still think one of them might be able to finish second. To be honest, Coventry's drop off. Let's see what happens there. Is it a blip or is it something more serious? Because if it is something more serious, the door is open for Middlesbrough or Ipswich. And right now, I would probably go for Middlesbrough to be the team that can find the consistency and get over the line. They don't look like slipping up. They look like they've got a lot of options. They've got a lot of strengths and they look so good. My heart wants Coventry to win the league. Of course it does. My head right now is saying Middlesbrough. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please do like and subscribe as we're going towards 1,000 subscribers. Would really appreciate that. And stay tuned for more Championship content. I'll see you next time. Thank you.